Ideas flow, ideas flow. Negative 320-degree object, superconductor, levitation. Really cool. Just like just about everything else in this place, it looks really cool and does absolutely nothing at all. Useless. Crickets chirping. Nothing burger. Food. Almond milk. Oat milk. Corn chips. Vegan cheese. Coffee. Rice. Avocado. Orange. Coconut oil. Good water. Smoothies. Raisin bran. Rice juice. Maybe a coffee flavored vape. Do anything at all. For what? For what? To combine your body, male and female, to combine tech electric with bioorganics. That is the divine. Until it's not. More and more often, I see food that looks the same as it did, I imagine, when it was new. But more commonly, the food I leave on plates on the stove, or, the mouse won't even look at it. There's no bugs right now, but a couple months ago I noticed that even like food that was bought at the store and then tossed into the grass, I'd walk by it a few days later and no bugs had touched it at all. I've seen this a lot lately in the past 2 years. I don't really ever remember noticing that before. I see food. This doesn't mold. Period. Now doesn't mold whatsoever. You just leave it there and it just doesn't even mold. Nothing. It doesn't even change. It dries out, sure, but I'm not saying anything specific about what I think it is, but I'll take that. That's an observation, and that's the thing, because other people notice too. Um, the payphone rings. It's supposed to be disconnected, but the man listens. He doesn't know what to expect, but something deep in his heart maybe keeps his hand gripped on the banged up, graffitied black plastic, and the hairs inside of his ears itched to hear something. As he asked again, "What did you say?" Maybe the humans were sent in to find out about something that cannot be known directly. It can only be known by its impression, Bigfoot's print. The effects it leaves on the environment as it makes its way and carries out its works. Maybe it is unperceivable to some inquirer. Maybe somewhere along the way we have become what we are now. But that's interesting to me because there's something that moves, it leaves effects and traces of its path and actions. Although they are non-linear with incomplete data, they seem like bloop, 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 bloop. It's not like, oh, right, there goes the... It's more like blink, 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 blink. And these things are seemingly unrelated. There's a dark force. And there's many forces. So, the more you notice. Those are the things that make me smile, and I spend a lot of time by myself, and this force is clearly here. So I choose to observe it. These forces, and being a communications expert, I like to do that. Think about it. The information you're looking for, it must be twisted and chewed up and then regurgitated and then scavenged and chewed. Then it can be digested properly. As far as research goes, we find our nuggets of truth or informational juice at usually on other people who have taken in this information and collected it with their mind, and then they process it through, and the way that they can say it, everybody likes a different way to hear things. So there's echoes of my life in your story, and it makes me feel like somebody's watching me. The scratch, it's not milk. The one who wants to know, and the one who already knows. Conspiracy research as a hobby versus conspiracy research as a field of study. Being a student to this field of study, it seems like plain stupid is essentially the make or break factor on this particular thing here. It's interesting to note that most of the conspiracy channels I watch they stick to their guns and don't hardly break character. They have stayed right on topic, same format, no matter mostly what events pop up. This is if you don't do that, if you talk about things as they go, it seems like kind of like you're the fool who called wolf type of guy, and it's essential to keep some type of poker face while making these videos, just keeping right on topic. And I was wondering why, but I mean, I have my own go-to YouTube videos that I will watch over and over that people privately make, and that's my comfort zone. That's my show or whatever for when I want to lay down and just not have to think about anything else or feel anything else outside of my area. So I get it about the format and how things are comfortably familiar. But at the same time, there's a lot of things that would be really cool to hear some of these people comment on, as I know they're definitely paying attention to things, and the way that their mind works really helps me unfold the way that my mind works. So there's that. And with that, amongst the people who do pay attention and research, every event seems to be another chance for a divide and conquer, because we are sitting at this table looking at these events, and then we look at each other like, you believe this shit? You get this? He fucking believes this shit? You believe this shit? You're crazy. He's crazy. He fucking believes this shit. It goes like that, too quick. And then it's like, if you actually have firsthand, finger on object, boots on ground information on this, um, like, it's emotional to sit at the table still with these people after they just do that. Or if you have that moment where you get up from the table and say, you guys are crazy. So that's a whole thing, because it seems like these topics are a make a breaker on sanity to some degree in general, completely. What does that mean? Like, How come we can't even talk about certain things? But it's true though, because if you really express your belief in these things, you make yourself so separate from so easily too, and it's such a serious thing. Like, no, I don't like that guy. He really fucking believes this shit. See, like, why though? Because I do it to people too, a lot. I don't fucking like them because they do this, and I used to do that, and I don't anymore. I know what it's like, and I'm out. And that's a lot of things. I'm not just talking about whatever, like, whatever it is for you that you've made your separation. But like, how far does this really go? Because clearly one person will not contain all the answers and act them out with a balance. Maybe there are some that, but they must really know what their mission is clearly, not just like a general idea, but the people that can just do that. Anyways, I'd like to be one of those people who clearly knows what their mission is and just acts it out. And this is me doing that. It's subtle, and it's not so direct like a right foot boot. The sound of it hitting the ground when you know you're on your way to something that must be done. You know what I mean? The feel of that when you just rock your boot on the ground. You walk in with your shoulders and your muscles are here. You feel like, gonna get there. I like that feeling, especially with this information that I'm talking about, not specifically just this time, but in general. So, there is truth to each dueling side. On addition to the separation, he's crazy. You guys are crazy. I'm crazy. Um, but there's such a paradox on that because at some point, that's what you have the conversation with yourself. The best of us really just nail it with that one for years, and it goes on. The more you go into it, you look at yourself in the mirror and go, he's fucking crazy. Am I crazy for talking about this to myself? Thinking about it. Thinking about it. Okay, yes, some thoughts are crazy and they need to be squelched at the source. Nope. That's what I do in my head. I don't have a head. That's not where I keep my ideas. In a bottle jar with no lid. I have a thing that comes up and it says NOPE period, all capital, usually red, and it goes nope on the idea, and it goes just like a complete turn on your heel, and then you're already in motion. Once you get to the other direction, you're already heading to the next spot. You're not gonna think about where you're going. You're on your way to the next thought. That's the day. That's a successful day when you can redirect always back to what you aim to be directed at, aligning harmoniously, synchronizing with your own if thoughts are really yours, intentions. Where do thoughts come from? The one who wants to know and the one who already knows. Dueling sides. Too much friendly fire is the general point on that. The whole point of mentioning the past 5 minutes probably was just to say too much friendly fire. And we see that in our physical world with actual damage. That's the exciting part about self and other, as far as I'm talking about something else that's not human coming and interacting with us. Because the exciting part is that there would be an us again instead of them and those guys and this group over here, but these people over here, they believe. It would be exciting to just be like, doesn't matter who or what they're doing. You look out your window and you see somebody out there, and you're like, you're hoping for them to get where they gotta go, and you might, you know what I mean? Like, all of us as we do our thing, it would be so nice to have that attitude. Like, hey, buddy, all right, you good? Pretty much we're there, but there's a lot of people that are still in between places to be. Hey, dude, you can't stop here. This is fucking bat country. Ducking and dodging. I see so many people in the streets. Oh, you know what I mean. That's what they look like. Figuratively speaking. And to a degree, it's good to see people outside. Posted up. But when you know what they're doing and that's all they're doing, that's when it sucks. And it's like, oh. Now they're plugging up the fucking works with hair in the drain. And that hair looks like pubic hair. You know what I mean? This is the type of people sometimes we see outside, clogged up around the drains, the doorways, the street corners. These people are clogging up the flow with their pubic hair looking crap. But it's okay, so yeah, I've been one of these people, and I kind of knew that when I was in that spot. I kind of pushed it on others because I wanted to confront them with the idea of a real person going through this, as I had thought myself to be a real person. But once I realized how much I was really just playing into the hand of um what it seems like almost is sales, but it doesn't seem like to anybody specific is the weird part. Just buy something. And it's like once you just stop, or if you steal to get something, it gets real weird. And it's not good. And the nature will send signs for you to stop doing that. And it's much happier, the nature is happier if you just do anything but hustle grind at others' expense. And to the expense of your spirit, that's when the money that you even have won't do nothing. And your spending power has no backing when you're spiritually bankrupt. So that's something to be aware of for certain. Um, so let's be a little easy on the friendly fire. I don't know why there's a war on the general public, but if you haven't noticed by now, um, there is, and being waged by whom or what and how, I also don't know. But it's happening to me, to us, to you on so many levels. The war on your mind. Mentioned by many. So I think that maybe we keep doing something good, and it's looking pretty good everywhere I go. It's looking pretty good. Um, David Icke. People from Wales, their last names are usually generally kind of hard to pronounce. It interestingly. Um, Mr. David had finally said enough, I guess, and formally pissed off the EU, EU nation, European nation, whatever they got going on over there, banned from 30 countries. I just saw this thing on New Year's Eve, and I've been watching this guy for 10, 15 years. 15 years. And I didn't know, but I guess Jordan Maxwell got him into it, and he's been doing it for 50 years. Neither one of them had too good of a fate once they got up to the age they're at. Mr. David, he's up to like 75 or 73 or something. And Mr. Maxwell made it up to 80 something, but what they made it with, it wasn't very great for. I mean, you minimize when you get. But for their field of research, I mean to say, they were not pleasantly surprised at the outcome. and it's interesting to watch it play out. It could have been a character from the start. Um, I wanted to mention also how it was interesting that I had thought about if there was 14, 15 YouTube accounts that were all either coordinated by people together or one person with 15 accounts that gets material, makes videos, and posts them from seemingly different locations, could it really that easily influence the whole world? Because I see these YouTube videos of the subjects that are being researched, and they're important subjects with a couple 100,000 views. And what it is that I research for hours. Okay, so I see the same videos from one person takes a video of something going on. I'll watch 10 channels that will have that one video on all 10 of them. See what I mean? So if one person made 10 videos on 10 channels and put them out and then kept doing that in a certain way, that's how easy it would be to change the whole world, because one person's videos would get redistributed by 10 people who get redistributed by 30 people who don't, and then watched by God knows how many people to tell their buddy, hey, guess what happened today. So that's pretty interesting to think about, because people use YouTube more than any other. I mean, I can't really say that. I don't know. It's speculation. But I imagine for me, I use YouTube more for any of my viewing media than anything. And that's where I guess I look for what I find or hope to be authentic information. So just wanted to put that out there really quick. The dark place makes you forget. Yes, you will, and no, you won't. No, you don't love me. You love the ideas you've surrounded me with. What is an author? Who creates characters? A character's creations, and pseudonym. The digital realm, reality. What the fuck am I looking at? Our past holds so much, or did, or does more so. The study of still proving more beneficial than study of sciences, the study of history. Still proving more beneficial than the study of sciences. When you notice history is truly alive, like almost like I've been researching history since middle school intensely when I was aware of what I was looking at, I thought. And I've noticed the same things keep just having different reasons and different beginnings and new conclusions and different backstories and new evidence. And of course, this would be the case, but that is something. Where am I? Who am I? Where's my point of reference when everything is moving? And that is the belief of the Buddhists. One of the first principles is that everything changes constantly. Constant change of, you know what I mean? Um, Belief is beyond reason. The dark makes you forget. Life is like a big dollhouse. Play by the rules, or God gets mad, and the other dolls will plastic you. So don't get plasticked. So yeah, that's this video for right now.